We're going to replace the front door speaker on a 2019 Kia Niro. First step is to remove the door card. This whole panel is called the door card. The first step is to pop off this little black panel. Find a small flat tip or a sponger or something you can squeeze in there. Next step is remove this plastic protective sheet as well as the one inside of here. And if you look carefully, there's a little tiny notch in the corner right here that you can get a tool in there. We got the door one out, and you see the screw down there. Pull the handle out, and you'll see that comes right out very easily. Remove both screws that were behind the panels you just removed. It helps to have a magnetic tip screwdriver. So there are plastic push clips or push pins on both sides and down the bottom, and the top just sort of hangs in there. It hooks on. There is a little notch here. Look for a little indentation on the bottom where you can get a plastic pry tool in there. That's where you want to start. Find that notch. Once all the connectors are loose, we're just going to lift up the panel and undo the electrical connectors on the back. So we push on this little pin right there, push in, and then lift the whole thing out. That one just pries out. The front has the cable connector and 2 electrical connectors. The back doors will have just 1 electrical connector. We're going to remove the 4 screws holding the speaker in, and then we're going to remove the electrical connector. You push in on the side of it like that, and then pull it out. Slide the speaker straight out once the screws are removed. Note on the back there's 2 plastic pins. Just make sure they line up in these holes. You'll see. We're going to put our screws back in. We're going to put our door back together. First, we're going to reconnect the door handle connectors. Then we're going to reconnect the little cable and then the bigger cable, and they're keyed. And then we're going to put our door card back in. All these little pop-outs go into these holes here, so you want to make sure they're lined up. You want to look in the crack and make sure they're lined up before you pound it back on. And first, of course, we hang our door card up here.
One. 2. 3.
Now we hang it on the top here. So you just basically bang around, and then you want to double check all the way around to make sure it's got a nice tight seal. Now we're going to put back this little plastic cover. It just protects the mirror connection. If you connected everything, the windows will work, the doors will work, and the locks will work. That little piece there just snaps in. And that one just lays in there. So the back door is going to be essentially the same. I just want to note this plastic piece here. There's rubber here. What we did is we put a little pick down here and then pulled it out. Yeah, we used a little pick and just popped it out.
For those of you that are curious as to why all these Kia speakers go bad, here's why. They route this wire, the connecting wire. It has to go, of course, this is a magnet, and there's a coil underneath. You can't see it, but there's a coil inside that causes this diaphragm to move up and down, up and down, up and down when it gets electrical impulses. Well, this wire comes in from the car harness, comes in, and it comes up through this little channel comes around, and then it comes out here, and it goes over to the coil. When it comes back from the coil on this side, it comes up, comes around over here, comes through this little channel, and then comes down to here. But what happens is, over time, this stuff, see it? It starts to decay. And not only does it decay, it starts to corrode this wire. And as you can see, if you look real close, this wire is starting to lose all of its copper. And all it has now is this copper braid that's on here is now wearing off, and you can see why right here. You can see it's turning it's like a string with no more copper coating on it. Same thing over here. It's like a string with no more copper coating on it. As I lift this up, you can kind of see that. So, to test my theory to make sure that is exactly what was wrong, let me show you. I'll get this one off and I'll show you. Take a real close look at this, and you can see copper clad, no copper clad, okay? And so when that finally deteriorates all the way out right there, you don't have any connection anymore. And I wanted to prove to myself that's what it was. So here's what I did. Just for giggles, okay? I don't suggest anybody try to operate like this, although it would work for a while. I soldered a bridging wire from here in a good area of the copper to here, a good area of the copper, skipping over the part that's bad. You can kind of see it in that area there. And then I did the same thing on this other side. I soldered from a good area of the copper to another good area of the copper, skipping over this bad area that has no copper. You see it? Okay, now, and to test my theory, I did two things. I put a multimeter here and a multimeter here set to ohms, and it's a 4 ohm speaker, and it showed 4 ohms, meaning I had the current going through, going around, coming out. 4 ohms. I got 4 ohms by going pin to pin, okay? And before, when these were not repaired yet, I had nothing going pin to pin. All right, you guys with me? Okay, now here's the final thing. I put it in the car and it worked great. I just don't know how long it would last, and I don't know if anybody wants to do all that for a cheapo speaker. I've seen people say, take them out, throw them away. Don't repair them, don't give them away, don't do anything, just throw them away. And I understand why. If you do decide to replace these, which would be the best idea, what you do is you buy a speaker that's the right size, 6.5 inches. Maybe you'll get a bracket with it that'll allow it to be easy to mechanically mount into the door. But electrically, here's what'll happen. Instead of it being connected to a connector like this, that's a Kia connector, what you'll have is you'll have 2 tabs. You'll have a positive tab and a negative tab. And these, you get an adapter like this, and I'll give you the part number in a minute. And it has a connector to go on a thin tab and a connector to go on a wide tab. You just slide those on, the thin one, the thick one, and that keeps negative, positive correctly. And you see that? See the end of this? See the end of this? This will go right onto the connector that comes out of the Kia wiring harness. You throw this away, and then this connects to that, connects to this, and you're in business with a brand new speaker that's not a Kia speaker.